Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we are gonna teaching our kids about feelings. I'm Rita and today it's all about you. Well, there's no consensus about the emotions that are born with each child and the ones that are learned during lifetime. One thing is certain, there's different emotions in different ages. So in infancy, from 6 to 9 months old, the baby recognizes stress and adapt a proper behavior. This self-regulation can be, for example, sucking in the hand or in the finger when the baby is hungry or sleepy, crying when he has a dirty diaper, for instance. You can start in this time with your kid. You can start teaching emotions like singing songs when wanted to calm down and reduce stress, because it's different from talking. So has a melody, has a different tone in your voice, and it's much more calmer for a baby. You can always start to make funny faces and tell stories that improves the positive reinforcement of self-regulation in your child. With toddlers from 1 to 3 years old, more or less, children starts to associate that one emotion is immediately connected to one situation. And you can see my video about tantrums. I will leave the description in the description box below. Teach the name of emotions. Start to talk about the proper name of some emotions. Understand that fear is the strongest and more difficult feeling in these ages that your kid will have. Adopt strategies that shows how to distance from situations that bring bad emotions. Help the child to distract herself from that situations that are stressful for the kid, and being a role model and talk about feelings and how you accomplish the feeling or the bad feelings and how you can do it in a better way. So try to talk with your kid, even if he's very, very little. Try to rule by example for your own children. Children with 3 years old on, you can start to teach your kid to identify his own emotions. He can start to learn how to identify what triggers and how to manage these feelings. Teach all their emotions are valid. There's no bad feelings or no bad emotions or no wrong answers in this phase. So be enthusiastic about it and emphasize that all the feelings and all the emotions are valid. Try to be compassionate and try to be with your children when he's feeling these big feelings and big emotions. It's important for you to remember why you are doing this, and it's very important that you realize that children that learn early about their own emotions, they usually have a better self-regulation, self-confidence and self-esteem. They have less stress when they go to school. They feel much more confident about themselves, and they have much better social skills and a much more richer social life in general. But teaching how to deal with emotion, it's not the same thing that teach him to avoid them. This is not what we want. We don't want your kids to avoid these big emotions. Of course, we always want to protect our kids. We want them to feel safe and to be safe, but instead of put a shield in front of them, from anger, from frustration, for disappointment, we need to teach how to manage these feelings and how to behave when these feelings are coming and when the situations bring these strong feelings. Children who don't learn about self-regulation, they will grow looking that that kind of regulation outside. So they are searching in this regulation that it's a primal need of any human being. They will go outside, and this can lead to many disorders, like food disorders, like drug problems, like alcohol problems, like codependence, bad relationship, and behavior disorders in the future of this child. It's important a child to be able to feel emotions. It's important that he feels emotional flexibility and resilience, and step by step feeling safe by themselves. It's important that they learn that the first thing, or the first person to try to make them safe must be themselves, and this is very important for their own future. Playing with games, making different faces for different emotions, using the mirror, for instance, it works really good with the small children. Reading stories and empathize on feelings. So there's lots of books about feelings in all the ages, almost all the ages of our children. Make songs about feelings, even if you don't have any kind of the thing about singing. Just practice and be funny with your kid and enjoy yourself during this time with your kid. Incentivize your child to look at other kids and other body language when there's a tantrum, when there's other kind of behaves. Incentivize him to look at other kids at the same age. Ask and do together paintings about feelings. Play, pretend with your child about emotions. Watch videos for kids about the same things, about emotions, about feelings. Prize your child when he starts to identify correctly some of feelings. So main thing is play with your kids and use the main theme, feelings and emotions, for the plays that you can have with your child. Well, what you can expect is a lot of good results. Usually, if when a kid starts to understand his own feelings, he starts to normalize these feelings and decreasing anxiety. So there's no much more places for tantrums. Usually promotes an emotional intelligence, so the growth of emotional intelligence of your kid, promotes learning, self-reassurance, and promotes a healthy behavior in general. takes the child to their best full development and capacity. Learning emotions help parents too, of course, because every parent wants that his kid be healthier and be better in the learning process. Good emotional health leads to psychological healthy processes, and in the long term a much healthy and well-being feeling. So these are very important things, and this is what you can expect if you start teaching your kids about feelings. It's not easy because most of the times you have to sometimes deal with your own feelings in some situations, but you can always improve, and you can try to teach your kid that he can improve too. Emotions are the most difficult things to explain, and help a kid with it. It's really a big task, but control them and giving all the tools to your kids to try to control the feelings, or try to manage, or try to at least understand them, gives a sense of independence and a sense that they can really cope in situations. If you can teach this to your kid, you can feel much more less stress and much more relaxed. For instance, when your kid goes for the first time to school, when your kid do or have difficult situations, you will know that he can manage them, and it's much more relaxed, not just for him but for you too as a parent. If your kid can learn this kind of procedures during emotions and strong feelings, it's more unlike to have anxiety or depression, that it's very common nowadays with the children. And the way we react to our kids' emotions has a very important role for their validation as human beings. That leads in the future to develop their emotional intelligence and be much more independent as a human being and as a person. So these are the things that it's very important, that that's why it's very important you can teach your kids about feelings. So that's all for today. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe. I hope you share with a friend. I hope you leave a thumbs up and leave a comment if you want to. See you next time. See you next week. Bye.